Wow, that light's too bright. That's better. He finally made a video. After all this time, after all these years, he promised that he's going to do a follow-up video, and he finally did it. Well, here it is. My name is Newkirk, and welcome to episode 0 of... Wait, why did I call this 0? Why did I call this 0? Oh, right. It's a digital theme. You know, the countdown begins with 0, but also because it's an introduction, nothing serious, but it's also part of the series. I don't know. But welcome to my new vlog with an old name called Thought Remixer. So you may know me as a curator of what wax will never know, an award-winning Tumblr that I managed to hold on close to 5 years before I decided to change the name out of the blue. And some of you will know me as one half of the current Blackout team, also an award-winning Tumblr, because, you know, all I do is win. Others will know me from Twitter, my old version of Thought Remixer, maybe even now left of the Boondocks, but no matter where you know me from, you know that I'm a good curator and slightly above average social commentator, I hope. So throughout the years, as a curator of content, I look for views to provoke thought on racial understandings in hopes of better understanding throughout our community. However, as time goes on, I realize that by curating these voices, it shapes my own, and therefore, I'm using other people's voices to establish a rapport between you, the audience, and myself. The problem with establishing this connection, especially when I was under what whites never know, is that I'm not always clear about the type of rapport we're having. It's an unorthodox character development where one assumes the complexities of my views and personalities based on calculated yet risky poses. That, and sometimes snarky yet well-meaning commentary. That's also a quick way to simplify me to a point of, I don't know, Jesus-like complexes. It's one where I expect the audience to guess my intentions, most of the times resulting in a disconnect that leaves some of you baffled, and sometimes destroying my love life. Now I'm trying to create more work, all while giving people a chance to shine, and I decided that from moving forward, I want a crystal clear understanding between the work I present and how I want you to see that work by creating guidelines about why I create and present it in the way that I'm going to. This is a manifesto that I'm calling the Prime Directives, a clear list of principles that will shape my content creation process that is in no ways connected to a certain cop from Detroit. These are the things that matter to me, and I'll break down each principle. With everything I produce and present, I want to ask if this is going to be helpful in the long run. While can it age well, and did I release it at the right time, or legit questions? There's also other principles like, do I strongly believe in what I said, and is there any convictions behind the works and feelings? My values are very complex and it can change with time, and I hope that I will be challenged and that it will take me one step closer to a better understanding between us. Now, I want to have discussions that can be discussed using clear examples, not entertain certain hyperboles or imaginary situations, most of the time. There may be times when I might have to do so because sometimes we need simplified versions to help, but not when it comes to presenting something factual and I need to be clearly understood. So it all goes back to what I know, what I can learn, and how I can apply it now, not within years. So it all goes back to what I know, what I can learn, and how I can apply it now, not years from now. Also, it helps if we keep the arguments localized because while I understand that I'm fighting for rights, I cannot speak for people in Dubai, for example, no more than they can speak for me. Pro-black. A very confusing word that sounds political, and it is, and thus making things a little confusing for the average person that may go back into my archives just to say, yeah, he's against white people. So allow me to make this directive very, very easy to digest. If you invalidate a black argument or reduce it to a point that is not an important subject, I rip the flipping head off. A lot of times black people's feelings on a matter gets discounted simply because of the age-old rhetoric that usually puts black people in a bad light and doubles down when it talks about a direct issue. So while I will talk about the news, events, and comment on non-black related items, don't expect me to throw blackness under the bus. That includes black women and the black members of the LGBT plus community and I'm sorry if I messed up that part. I will learn. Now, I said there are 3 prime directives. I do have one hidden one, also not influenced by a mechanical human tank from a fictional corporation. I'm pretty sure these directives are clear and non-negotiable. However, I think there should be a clause just in case. Just as I need to be flexible in my topics and so on, I need to be flexible with the directives. So I review them every once in a while and modify or add as I think is needed. But the pro-black directive, don't expect me to drop that. Clarify? Yes. Dropping it completely? In closing, I hope as we journey down this rabbit hole together, that we can have a clear understanding of what you can expect. And I hope that we can learn from one another, grow together, and find solutions that can help us become a better people. Well, you know, you can laugh at my expense. Why don't you? I'm fine either way. Perhaps. Maybe. I think this is what one of my girlfriends were talking about when they say I should have more confidence in myself. I need to work on that.